Your Honor, I just wanted to check in. I was told that there wasn't anyone on the calendar that needed me, but I just wanted to confirm with you.
Okay, do we need any interpreter? Do we need an interpreter?
Okay, hold on, stand by, just George.
Okay.
Judge, how many did we have today? Judge George.
Yes, ma'am.
Remember, Moore is coming back up from the other day.
Okay. Well, I have where did I put it? I got something that said he bonded out. Hold on a minute. Let me see. Oh no, that's Moore is coming back.
Wait a minute, no, that's Darnell Moore. Okay, he's out on bond. That's the other one that I asked you about it yesterday.
I have a Taylor as an add-on, but then I have on the paperwork that he bonded out. So I just need to check.
Okay. What's his first name, Judge?
Let's see here. Marcus Taylor.
I'm looking him up right now.
Okay.
Judge George?
And he is out.
He's out. Okay, so we don't have to worry about it.
George?
Right. Yes.
Okay, there's no Spanish interpreter needed today.
Okay. Well, Ms. Tolles, you're free to go.
Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, when you ready, Judge George.
Okay, I'm just gonna go in order of the jail calendar, starting with the 20th. So it'll be Destiny Collins.
Okay, Collins. Okay. Collins, Destiny Collins.
Kate.
Kate, come on out, stand at the door. Stand to the podium, okay? Take your face off. Put your hands behind your back.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Are you Destiny Collins?
Ma'am.
Ms. Collins, you're charged with simple battery, family violence. Do you understand your charge, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
I would like for you to read it to me, please.
Okay, this says that you did batter Deambra Davis when you pulled her braids in an offensive and provocative manner. You have no bond at this time due to being on probation. You have special conditions to stay away from Deambra Davis.
I'm not on probation.
You must not violate any laws while out on bond. Ma'am, talk with your attorney about that. You're listed as being on probation, okay? Just talk to your attorney about it. You can waive your preliminary hearing and see a judge, and I think it's now the time is 10 to 14 days. So would you like to waive your preliminary hearing, or would you like a preliminary hearing?
When will my preliminary hearing be?
I can put you down. I'm going to put you down for a preliminary hearing and allow you to talk with your attorney.
And you said I don't have.
You can waive. You have a preliminary hearing. It's scheduled for the 22nd.
Of what?
At 8:30 in courtroom 201.
June 22nd?
Yes, June 22nd, ma'am.
And you said I don't have a bond?
You don't have a bond. Thank you.
Well, come on, Ms. Collins. It's Kate. Kate, ma'am. Stay right here.
Are you Ms. Hunt?
Yes, I am.
Ms. Hunt, you're charged with battery. Do you understand your charge, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
Please read it.
Okay. The defender did engage in a physical altercation with the victim,
Asaya, that's my son.
Asaya Hunt. The defender intentionally caused physical harm to the victim in the form of a busted lip. Said offender was reported to have gone to the ground with victim in a physical manner. Victim reported his busted lip was a direct result of the physical altercation. Your bond is $4,000, ma'am. You have special conditions to stay away from Asaya Hunt. You must not violate any laws while out on bond.
Okay.
I appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing, ma'am?
Yes, I do. Well, like when
Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
The preliminary hearing mean?
Okay, I can put you down for one and you can speak with your attorney about it.
I'm fine. I'll just waive it and just do the bond thing.
But but you can still waive it even if you talk to an attorney. You can talk to your attorney and still waive it if you would like.
Okay.
So you want to talk to your attorney?
I mean, like, what are we gonna discuss?
You don't understand, so you can ask him any or her any questions that you have.
Okay.
So you want to talk to the attorney?
I don't know. Is that gonna?
Okay, I'll put you down for a preliminary hearing. It's scheduled for June the 22nd
Okay.
at 8:30 a.m. in courtroom 201. Thank you.
So my bond is 4,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Johnson Morgan Johnson.
Destiny. Miss Morgan or Destiny Cates?
Yes, ma'am.
What's your name?
It's Destiny Kate.
Okay. Ms. Cates, you're charged with criminal trespass. Do you understand your charge, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
Can you read the warrant to me?
It says the offender did commit the offense of criminal trespass when she, without legal justification and without the consent of the rent office of Ascent, opened the office door, causing damage less than $500. Part of the frame. Ma'am, your bond is $3,000. You have special conditions to stay away from the rent office at 634 Roy Huey Road.
You know, I stay there,
Violating the laws while out on bond.
so I can't go back to my house.
You can't go back to the rent office, ma'am.
Okay.
Just listen to what I'm saying. Okay. Do you wish to waive the preliminary hearing?
No.
Okay. The preliminary hearing is on June the 22nd at 8:30 in courtroom 201. Thank you. Are you Miss Morgan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Morgan, you're charged with simple assault and criminal trespass. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
Can you read the warrant?
It says that the offender did commit the above offense when offender intentionally threw victims Joshua Riggins outside the residence, even while in front of this officer, causing damages up to $250. To burning the victim's shoes as well as swinging at the victim. Offender as well as the victim advised they lived together for approximately 1 year. Ma'am, your bond is $6,000. You have special conditions to stay away from Joshua Riggins. You can't return to 276 Upper Riverdale Road, B6 in Jonesboro. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. I've indicated on your bond order that you can make an appointment with the sheriff's office within 10 days of your release to go get any personal belongings that you have at that location. You do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing, ma'am?
I don't understand what it means.
Okay, I'm gonna put you down for a preliminary hearing. It's scheduled for June the 22nd at 8:30 in courtroom 201. Thank you.
So I'll be locked up until then,
No, you can make bond.
and I'm the only one on that lease.
Okay, you have to stay away from there.
Yes, ma'am.
Talk to your attorney about modifying the terms, okay?
Come on, look at
Yes, ma'am, this is Nancy Pickett. What a couple.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Judge George,
Yes, ma'am.
stand up, Ms. Pickett. Put your hands back behind your back. Ms. Pickett has some mental health issues.
Okay,
Okay?
Ms. Pickett.
I had got one.
No, listen, Ms. Pickett, okay? Listen to the judge. You see
Okay,
her
yes,
right
ma'am,
there?
yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Give me just a second. I didn't have her as on this calendar.
Okay, ma'am, I'm sorry, ma'am. I may have mixed up my days on the second page. We can
That's
go.
okay. All right, Ms. Pickett,
Ma'am,
you're charged with criminal trespass. Do you understand your charge, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
I want to waive it.
Okay, let me just read the warrant to you quickly. It says that you knowingly and without authority entered the victim's Chakotay Arnold's house. The victim advised that the offender this time was wandering around, walking around the house and looking through windows. Do you understand your charge, ma'am?
Ma'am,
Okay. Your bond is $5,000. You have special conditions to stay away from Chakotay Arnold. You can't return to 8087 Kendrick Road in Jonesboro, and you must not violate any laws while out on bond.
okay.
appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
I'm gonna waive it, yes, ma'am.
You want to waive? Okay, thank you.
Okay, come over here.
Sign a waiver, ma'am.
Go right there. Judge George, we can go back because I have my papers together now. So who would your next one be?
Justina Robinson?
Let's go over there. Right there. You said Justina Robinson, man?
Yes.
Okay, and that will be Kim Stevens. Okay, one moment. Robinson and Stevens. Robinson, go to the podium, put your hand up. Ladies, you gotta quiet down. He's recording. Ladies, you need to quiet down. We are recording. Ma'am, please take that off your face.
Okay. You, Ms. Robinson?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Robinson, you're charged with violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, crossing the guard line with drugs, guns, or alcohol, driving on a suspended license, driving with no insurance, and knowingly driving a motor vehicle with suspended registration. You understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
I understand that.
Okay. Ma'am, your bond is $19,500. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. You have a preliminary hearing scheduled for June the 25th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. Thank you.
Can you explain to me how much that will be?
It's going to be 15% of that if you go through a bonding company. You can pay the whole amount cash, or you can put up property. Okay. And you can speak with your attorney. I've appointed an attorney to represent you. Okay.
Okay, put your face next to me. Come on, Mr. Robinson.
Oh, I do have a bond.
Genesis Sproul, are you Miss Sproul?
No, Kim Stevens.
Okay.
Oh, no, Ms. Sproul is out on bond, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. I didn't have that.
You're welcome.
All right, Ms. Stevens, you're charged with criminal trespass, damage to property. Do you understand your charge, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
Read the warrant, please.
Okay. It says that the offender did commit the offense of criminal trespass by knowingly and maliciously interfering with the property of another. Of that person, to wit, while Johnny Stevens was writing music in his notebook to avoid a verbal altercation with said offender, she maliciously interfered with his use and his property by taking it from him and refusing to return it. Ma'am, your bond is $2,000. You have special conditions to stay away from Johnny Stevens. You can't return to 337 Waterford Drive in Jonesboro. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. I've indicated on your bond order, ma'am, that you can make an appointment with the sheriff's office within 10 days of your release to go get any personal belongings that you have at that location. I am appointing an attorney to represent you. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
I don't know what that means. Can he?
Okay, I'm appointing an attorney to represent you, so I'm gonna allow you to speak with your attorney before you make that decision, so you can
I don't know how to get
know what you're doing.
that's my home, my own, you know? I don't-
Right, just speak with your attorney, ma'am.
Okay, what do I do, bond? Am I gonna be able to get out on bond? Is that what you?
Yes, ma'am, you can bond out.
I don't know what that means.
Just speak with your attorney. Thank you. Courtney Dyer. Hey, ma'am.
Go to the podium.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Dumas,
What is it?
Dumas, D-U-M-A-S.
What's your last name?
Dumas, D-U-M-A-S.
Dumas, D-U-M-A-L. Okay.
Yes, ma'am, that's not who you got next, because we're on the 21st, aren't we?
Yeah, I have the first person I have for the 21st is Dyer, but let me check because I believe they had her under a different last name.
Let me see your on there. I have an Erica Angelina Dumas on her name tag too.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Oh, you said the next one you had was Dyer?
Yes.
Okay, what it is it's just out of order, but she's on our list as the next one. I have Dyer as well.
Okay, I don't have Dumas, so let me find Dumas. Hold on 1 second. just hold her. Hold her, just give me the next, give me Dyer next.
Okay, hold on right there. George, next I actually have is Sonia Dixon. And then I have Courtney Dyer. Do you have Dixon and then Dyer, or you just have Dyer?
Hold on a second, let me find. Okay, I found Dumas, so we can get her. And then Dixon, I got Dixon too.
So then after, it's gonna be Dixon and then Dyer, okay?
Yes, okay. All right, Ms. Dumas, you're charged with criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree and discharge of a firearm. On the property of another. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Okay, ma'am, your bond is $14,000. You have special conditions to stay away from Octavius Howell. You can't return to 16 Forest Parkway and Forest Park, and you must not violate any laws while out on bond. You have a preliminary hearing scheduled for June 25th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. Thank you, ma'am. Are you Ms. Dixon?
Yes.
Ms. Dixon, you're charged with battery, family violence. Do you understand your charge, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
I understand it.
Okay, your bond is $4,000. You have special conditions to stay away from Shanedia Hicks. You can't return to 330 Arrowhead Boulevard, number 21A in Jonesboro. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. I've indicated on your bond order that you can make an appointment with the sheriff's office within 10 days of your release to go get your personal belongings that you have at that location. You do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
No.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing is scheduled for 8:30 a.m. on June 22nd in courtroom 201. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Multiple.
Hey, Ms. Dyer.
Ma'am.
Ms. Dyer, you're charged with simple battery and criminal trespass. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
Could you read it for me, please?
Okay. It says that the offender did commit the above offenses when she did make physical contact of a provoking nature, when she did strike the victim, Lawson, with an open hand during an altercation. The offender also knowingly and maliciously interfered with the victim's possession when she forcibly threw the victim's items out of the residence and into the street. Your bond is $5,000. You have special conditions to stay away from Chastity Lawson. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. Do you all live together, ma'am?
Yes, it's my home, ma'am.
Okay. All right, you're gonna have to stay away from that location. And this can be modified. It's just a condition of the bond. Just talk to your attorney about modifying it. But as it stands right now, you're gonna have to stay away from that location. I've indicated on your bond order that you can make an appointment with the sheriff's office within 10 days of your release to go get any personal belongings that you have there. You do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I am going to appoint one to represent you. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing is scheduled for June the 22nd at 8:30 in courtroom 201. Thank you.
I have one question. If she has moved out, do I still have to stay away from my home?
Just talk to your, no, if you talk to your attorney and you're able to present something to the court, you could possibly go back. You could go back if she's not there, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Kimberly Green.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, are you Ms. Edie?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Edie, you're charged with driving on a suspended license and no tail lights. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
I understand them, but I didn't.
Okay. Okay, let me finish and then I'll let you ask me any questions you have, okay? Your bond is $2,000. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. You do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I am going to appoint one to represent you. And do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
No.
Okay, and what was your question, ma'am?
She's, well, she said no tail lights, maybe like no bright lights. That's what she was saying.
It just says no tail lights, like you didn't have any lights on the back of your car.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Next question, can I ask you? I bonded out already,
Okay,
so I don't know how I go from there.
you'll waive your preliminary hearing anyways if you bond it out.
Okay.
Okay. All right, thank you. Are you Miss Green?
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Green, you're charged with theft by shoplifting, obstruction of an officer, driving on a suspended license, and theft by deception. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
I understand the charges. I just don't understand how I accrued those.
You don't understand what?
How they came about.
Okay, you want me to read the warrant to you?
No, I think he's read it to me, but
Oh, okay, all right. Well, you don't have a bond at this time because you're on probation. You have a preliminary hearing scheduled for June 25th at 8 a.m. and 2:01. You do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. You also have special conditions, ma'am, that you are to stay away from 11155 Tara Boulevard in Hampton. Okay,
what's that, dear?
I'm sorry.
What was that?
You're supposed to stay away from 11155 Tara Boulevard in Hampton. You can't return to that location, ma'am.
I had just started.
Thank you. Thank you. You had a question?
I did.
What's your question?
I was advising you that I had just started a new job yesterday, and it's working at home. And I just wanted to know if it was able for me to get a bus so that I could continue my employment.
No, ma'am. By law, I can't give you a bond because you're on probation. Okay.
Okay. And you,
So talk to your lawyer. Thank you.
when I go to court,
You go to court on June 25th.
June 25th.
Are you Ms. Hill?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Hill, you're charged with aggravated assault, cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, and criminal trespass. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you? Okay. Your bond is $29,500. You have special conditions to stay away from Butler Fernandez. You can't return to 7996 Amazon Court in College Park, and you must not violate any laws while out on bond. I've indicated on your bond order that you can make an appointment with the sheriff's office within 10 days of your release to get any personal belongings that you have at that location. You have a preliminary hearing scheduled for June 25th at 8 a.m. and 2:01, and you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney. Thank you, ma'am.
The question? I can't answer the question.
Hold on, Judge Joyce, she had a question.
Okay, yes.
So he doesn't live there at all in my name?
Okay. All right, talk to your attorney about that. It's the way it's listed on the warrant, so it can be modified. Just talk to your attorney, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you Miss Small or Jackson?
It's small, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Small, you're charged with cruelty to children, reckless conduct, 2 counts of aggravated assault, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, 2 counts of pointing a pistol at another, and 2 counts of terroristic threats. You have no bond set at this time. You have a preliminary hearing scheduled for June 25th at 8 a.m. and 2:01. You do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Thank you, ma'am.
Now, it's about
Are you Miss Massey? Yes. Ms. Massey, you're charged with violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act and possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you? I'm sorry? You understand? Okay. Your bond is $8,000. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. You have a preliminary hearing scheduled for June 25th at 8 a.m. and 2:01, and you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney. Thank you, ma'am.
Come on, Ms. Madison, put the pen down. I need
Ms. Paisley?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Paisley, you're charged with criminal attempt to commit armed robbery, possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime, and aggravated assault. You have no bond set at this time. Do you understand your charges, ma'am, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
Yeah.
You understand? Okay. You have a preliminary hearing scheduled for June 25th at 8 a.m. and 2:01, and you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney. Okay, thank you.
Stacey, come on. Step up to the spot.
Are you Miss Pollard?
Yeah.
Ms. Pollard, you're charged with giving a false name, address, or date of birth and driving on a suspended license. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
I understand.
Okay, ma'am, bond is $3,000. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. I am appointing an attorney to represent you.
Is
You
that, or that's,
waive your preliminary hearing
was it 3,000 for one charge or both
for
together?
both. That's your total bond.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing?
What is that? The preliminary.
Okay, I'm gonna put you down for a preliminary hearing so you can speak to your attorney. Your preliminary hearing is scheduled on June 22nd at 8:30 in courtroom 201.
Okay, so I still get the bond with the
Yes, you
heat?
can bond out.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So those two need to go back. No, go in there. And the wrong place.
Yes.
Judge George,
Yes.
okay, you ready for the 20th for the mail from the top?
Yeah, I have Rafiq Beckford first.
Beckford? Yes, ma'am.
Beckford.
Come on. Beckford, the booth.
Beverly? Beverly?
Last name Booth.
Beverly?
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir. Are you Rafiq Beckford?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Beckford, you charged with 2 counts of battery, cruelty to children in the 1st degree, and criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
I'm sorry.
Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrants to you?
You could read them. I'm really not used to this, please. Make it as simple for me, please, Your Honor.
It says the offender did batter the victim, Naveen Beckford, his wife, by throwing a fan at her, hitting her left arm, leaving a visible bruise. The offender did batter the victim, also Winter Beckford, by throwing a teacup at her, hitting her shoulder, leaving a visible injury. Red marks and scratches. The victim, Winter Beckford, is the daughter of the offender and a juvenile, which caused mental, physical pain. The offender did break a teacup and a statue valued by the victim at over $500. So your bond is $25,500. You have special conditions to stay away from Naveen Beckford and Winter Beckford. You can't return to 3766 Fremont Drive in Ellenwood. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. I've indicated on your bond order that you can make an appointment with the sheriff's office within 10 days of your release to go get any personal belongings that you have at the location. We have a preliminary hearing scheduled for June the 25th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201, and you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, sir. Thank you.
You're so welcome, ma'am.
One moment, Judge George.
Okay.
You may. I don't understand. Yeah.
Good evening, Your Honor.
Good evening. Mr. Booth, you're charged with giving a false name, address, or date of birth. Do you understand your charge, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
Yes, Your Honor. Understand.
You understand? Okay. Your bond is $1,500. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. You do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I am going to appoint one to represent you. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
No.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing is scheduled for 8:30 on June 2nd in courtroom 201.
No time?
201, 8:30.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
All right, take care.
You too.
Ms. Charles Brown?
Yes, ma'am.
What's your name, sir?
Charles Leroy Brown.
Okay, I have Shakim Bradley. Did he bond out?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So next will be Charles Brown and then Sean Brown.
Okay. Charles Brown. Mr. Brown, you're charged with battery, family violence, cruelty to children in the first degree, and obstruction of an officer and interference with government property. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
I understand.
Okay, your bond is $19,000. You have special conditions to stay away from Demetria Green. You can't return to 6370 Old Dixie Highway in Jonesboro, and you must not violate the laws while out on bond. I've indicated on your bond order that you can make an appointment with the sheriff's office within 10 days of your release to go get any personal belongings that you have there. You have a preliminary hearing scheduled for June the 25th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. And you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, sir. Thank you.
Come on here, Mr. Brown. Step up, Mr. Brown.
Good morning.
Good morning, or it's afternoon, Mr. Brown.
Sorry, good afternoon.
Okay, you're charged with criminal damage to property in the second degree, afraid, and giving a false name, address, or date of birth. Charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
I don't understand the phrase.
It says that on May 19th, that you did engage in a public fight with another at the BP Food Mart at 11205 Tar Boulevard in Hampton. It says the offender did intentionally cause damage to the said cooler, and said damage exceeds $500. Your bond is set at $8,500. You have to stay away from 11205 Tar Boulevard in Hampton. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. You have a preliminary hearing scheduled for June 25th at 8 a.m. in 201, and you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Come on,
you, ma'am.
Mr. Cullen, Dr. Cullen. Mr. Cullen,
Yes, ma'am.
step up, sir.
After Mr. Cullens will be Kai Daniels. Mr. Cullens, you're charged with battery, family violence. Do you understand your charge, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
I understand the charge.
Okay, your bond is $5,000. You have special conditions to stay away from Cherish Simpson. You must not violate your laws while out on bond. I am appointing an attorney to represent you. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
No, ma'am.
Your preliminary hearing is scheduled for 8:30 on June 22nd in courtroom 201.
Can I write that down?
Shouldn't have right now.
I'm sorry, I ain't know
That's why I
that.
was there. Put it down.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Oh, Mr. Daniel, step up. One, two, okay, all right. They'll give it to you when you bond out. Take that off your mouth, okay?
How you doing today, ma'am? Your Honor.
I'm good. Are you Kai Daniels?
No.
Okay, Mr. Daniels, you're charged with battery and a pistol at another and reckless conduct. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
Can you repeat the charges, please, ma'am?
Battery, pointing a pistol at another, and reckless conduct.
Yes, I understand.
Okay, your bond is set at $14,000. You have conditions to stay away from Tommy Lawrence. You can't return to 7050 Highway 85 in Riverdale, and you must not violate the laws while out on bond.
Yes, ma'am.
I am appointing an attorney to represent you. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing, sir?
I really don't understand what that means.
Okay, I'm gonna put you down for a preliminary hearing to give you time to speak with your attorney. You can always waive once you speak with your attorney, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
You said 14, I mean 1400?
14,000.
Okay.
This is Dillingham, ma'am.
Okay. Are you Mr. Dillingham?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you're charged with possession of drug-related objects. Do you understand your charge, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
I understand.
Okay, your bond is $1,500. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. You do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I am going to appoint one to represent you. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
Thank you. Be sure to sign a waiver, sir, okay?
If I still waive it, can I still bond up?
Yes, you can.
Okay, Judge George,
Yes.
come on over here. Come on here, Mr. Dillon. Next, I have Foster. Reginald.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, that's who I have.
okay, Feaster bonded out, okay, ma'am?
Who bonded out?
Tyrone Feaster,
Feaster. Okay, I got it.
okay,
Okay.
all right.
Mr. Foster, you're charged with battery, family violence. Do you understand your charge, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
I understand.
Okay, you have no bond at this time, sir, due to being on probation. You have special conditions to stay away from Letitia Arnold. You must not violate any laws while out on bond should you get a bond. I appoint an attorney to represent you, sir. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
You know when next I go to court?
Well, if you waive, you'll go sooner. If you don't waive, you'll go on June the 25th.
Yeah, I waive it.
You'd like to waive? Okay, just be sure to sign a waiver, sir.
Yes, ma'am. If I get in contact with my PO, is, you know what I'm saying? Because
Talk to your attorney, sir.
Stand right over here. Stand right here.
Okay, Mr. Harris, are you Rodney Harris?
Halls.
DeAndre Halls? Okay. Mr. Halls, you're charged with battery, family violence, and possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
I understand, man.
Okay, your bond is $6,500. You have special conditions to stay away from Jasmine Dew. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. I am appointing an attorney to represent you. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
Thank you. Be sure to sign a waiver, sir.
What's your name?
DeAndre Halls.
Judge George, you didn't have a Rodney Harris?
Yeah, I had Rodney Harris, but Hall stepped up, so I just did his.
Are you Rodney Harris? So you need to find Rodney Harris. What's your name? Judge George, next is Isaiah Hunt.
So we don't have Rodney Harris?
And we looking for him. You want to take?
Okay, all right, I'll put him to the side.
Okay.
Isaiah Hunt,
Yes, ma'am.
so are you charged with battery? Do you understand your charge, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you? It says the offender did engage in a physical altercation with the victim, Denise Hunt. I'm sorry. Said offender intentionally caused physical harm to the victim in the form of a busted lip. Said offender was reported to have gone to the ground with the victim in a physical manner. Victim reported her busted lip was a direct result of the physical altercation. Sir, your bond is $4,000. You have special conditions to stay away from Denise Hunt. You can't return to 10452 Candlelight Road in Jonesboro. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. I've indicated on your bond order that you can make an appointment with the sheriff's office within 10 days of your release to go get any personal belongings that you have at the location. I am appointing an attorney to represent you, sir. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing? Sir, do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing? Okay, I'm gonna put you down for a preliminary hearing. It's gonna be scheduled for June the 25th at 8:30 in courtroom 201. I'm sorry, it's June 22nd. I'm sorry.
Come on, sir, come this way. Judge George, next will be McGruber.
Okay,
Because we're still trying to get Harris, man.
okay.
So this is Douglas and McGruber.
All right, Mr. Magruder, you're charged with child molestation, aggravated sexual battery, enticing a child for indecent purposes, and child molestation again. Your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrants to you?
No, Your Honor, I am waiting to hear from my attorney.
Okay, do you understand the charges, sir? Or do you want to have the warrant read to you?
Well, read the warrant, please, ma'am.
Okay, it says that you did perform an immoral and indecent act to an 8-year-old victim, Hiroshima, a child under the age of 16 years of age, by placing your hand under her pants and underwear and rubbing and inserting your digits into her vagina, which was with the intent to arouse and satisfy the sexual desires of the said accused. Do you understand that, sir?
I understand.
Okay. You have a preliminary hearing scheduled for June the 25th at 8 a.m. and 2:01, and a bond hearing scheduled for June the 26th at 8 a.m. and 2:01. You do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, but you said you're hiring your own attorney? Okay. Thank you, sir.
And will I be provided anything in writing about that? Because I can't remember dates very well.
You should be able to write it down. You should have a pen and paper right there in front of you.
I can't, that's fine. I wasn't sure. All right. So June 25th is the preliminary
At 8 a.m. and 2:01.
8 a.m. room 201. I understand the forms now. Yes, ma'am.
Put the pen down. Come on, Mr. Come on. Next will be Mr. Sebastian Miles, Judge George.
Okay.
Come on, man. Emory. Didn't say he's gonna walk and then. Go back.
Mr. Miles,
Yes.
you're charged with improper lane change, decal not displayed, failure to maintain policy info, brake light violation, obstruction of an officer, fleeing from a police officer, erratic lane change, reckless driving, driving on a suspended license, open container violation, and violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. Sir, your bond is $24,000. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. The preliminary hearing is scheduled for June 25th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. You do qualify for a court-appointed attorney. Thank you.
Thank you.
Come on, Mr. Miles.
You're welcome.
George? Judge George,
Yes,
Rodney Harris is bonded out.
You said 24,000?
Rodney Harris bonded out. Okay, I got it.
The next one should be Milton Olds, OLDS.
Okay. Mr. Oles,
Yes, ma'am.
charged with violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, trafficking methamphetamines, possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, possession of a firearm by a felon, and fleeing from a police officer. You understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
Yes, could you read it to me, please?
The offender did have in his possession approximately 95 multicolored pills that tested positive for methamphetamines. The offender also had a Taurus 9mm in his possession. The offender is also a convicted felon out of North Carolina. The offender did fail to bring his vehicle to a stop after being given visual and audible signal to do so, and engage in a pursuit with marked Georgia State Patrol vehicle. So your preliminary hearing is on June 25th at 8 a.m. and 2:01. You do not have a bond at this time, but you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney. Thank you.
Ma'am, the next person, OLUOHA bonded out. The next one should be Andrew Palmer.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello.
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 Mr. Palmer, you're charged with criminal damage to property in the second degree and affray. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand? Okay, your bond is $7,000. You have special conditions to stay away from 11205 Tara Boulevard in Hampton. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. You have a preliminary hearing scheduled for June 25th at 8 a.m. and 2:01, and you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, sir. Thank you.
That's all right.
Come on, Mr. Payne. Next is Mario Payne. Come on.
Good morning. Afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Payne. You're charged with driving with no tag or an expired tag, unregistered tag or unlicensed tag, hearing and vision device violation, overtaking and passing, giving a wrong turn signal, stop sign violation, red light violation, fleeing from a police officer, speeding, reckless driving, aggressive driving, and improper lane change. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
No, ma'am.
You understand?
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Okay, all right. Your bond is $15,000. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. You have a preliminary hearing scheduled for June 25th at 8 a.m. and 2:01. Thank you.
Hold on, Mr. Penny, so go your mask up. Judge George, come on. The next two bonded out, so the next one we try is Randall.
Okay, so Pope bonded out and Travis Pope bonded out.
Yes, Pope and Ramirez bonded out. The next.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Put your hands behind you guys.
You, Mr. Randall?
Ma'am,
Okay, Mr. Randall, you're charged with violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act and use of possession of drug-related objects. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
I understand.
Okay. Your bond is $8,500. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. You have a preliminary hearing scheduled for 8 a.m. on June 25th in courtroom 201, and you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Judge George. Samuel bonded out, Rule bonded out, Thomas bonded out, Michael Thomas bonded out.
Okay.
The next would be Corey Trummer.
Rodney Tooks bonded out as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Mr. Tremel? You're charged with battery, criminal trespass, and obstruction of an officer. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
No, ma'am, I understand them.
Okay, you have no bond set at this time due to being on probation. I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You have special conditions to stay away from Michael Kingsbury. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing, sir?
May I have a few days? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you want to waive?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. Next will be Wardlow. Come on over here, Mr. Trump.
Pull your mask up. Pull your mask up. Pull your mask down. Put that mask over your nose.
Put it over my.
Not you.
Mr. Wardlow, you're charged with giving a false name, address, or date of birth. Do you understand your charge, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
Yes, can you tell me what was my false name?
It says you did commit the act of giving a false name, address, or date of birth. During an investigation, said offender gave me the name of Michael Ward.
Mm-hmm.
The investigation, I was able to retrieve the offender's real name and date of birth. Said offender openly admitted to giving me a false name and date of birth. This incident occurred in Clay County.
Okay, he said false address. Wasn't this taken in front of my house? The place in front of my house.
Okay, your bond is $1,500. You must not violate any laws while out on bond.
Yes, ma'am.
You do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you.
Yes, ma'am.
Waive your preliminary hearing.
I'm not really sure what waiving the permission.
Okay, well, I'm gonna put you down for a preliminary hearing, sir, and let you speak with your attorney about what it means. You can always waive at a later date.
Okay, so I will have a bond.
Yes, your bond is $1,500.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Next is Al Berry, ma'am.
Okay.
We on May 21st now.
Yep.
Pull your mask down.
Okay, Mr. Alberry, you're charged with driving under the influence of alcohol and open container violation. Charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
Just George.
Huh?
Archie.
Archer.
Archie.
Okay, this is Jack Archie, ma'am. Can we,
Okay.
then we'll get Alberry next?
Okay, that's fine. Mr. Archie, you're charged with driving on a suspended license on the wrong side of the road and improper lane change. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
I understand.
Okay. Your bond is $2,500. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. For a court-appointed attorney, so I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
No.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing is scheduled for 8:30 a.m. on June 22nd in courtroom 201. Thank you, sir.
Judge George, we looking for Mr. Alberry, and right now you got LaRon Benjamin.
Okay. Mr. Benjamin, you don't have any charges pending against you in Clayton County. You've been brought before the court today because you have charges pending against you in another jurisdiction, that being the state of Florida. As you are wanted by another jurisdiction, I'm not allowing a bond at this time. You do have the option of waiving extradition or contesting extradition. If you contest extradition, you'll sit in the Clayton County Jail for an initial period of 30 days while we try to obtain the governor's signature for your extradition. You can remain in while we obtain the governor's signature for up to 90 days. If you waive extradition, that jurisdiction, being Florida, will have up to 90 days to come and get you. If they don't come and get you within 90 days, you will be released. Would you like to contest or waive extradition?
Wait.
Thank you. Just make sure you sign your extradition waiver, sir.
Okay, come over here. Mr. Benjamin. Judge George, Castro bonded out. The next will be Corey Dillon.
Okay. Mr. Dillard, you're charged with brake lights and signal violation, possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, and 2 counts of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
Yes, I understand, but.
Okay, sir, your bond is $21,500, and you must not violate any laws while out on bond. You have a preliminary hearing scheduled for 8 a.m. on June 25th in courtroom 201, and you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, sir.
Okay. You said June 25th now?
Yes, at 8 a.m. and 201.
Okay.
Come on.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The next should be Bernard Evans.
Okay.
Back up on him.
Mr. Evans, you're charged with obstruction of an officer and loitering or prowling. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
I don't understand the charges, Your Honor.
Okay, let me read the warrant to you, sir. It says that you did loiter in front of the Shell gas station at 4806 Road. You were instructed to either go in the store or leave from in front of the store. You stated you didn't have to leave from in front of the store and then failed to identify yourself when asked.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Okay. Sir, your bond is $3,500. You have special conditions to stay away from 4806 Jonesboro Road. You must not violate laws while out on bond. I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Am I eligible for a signature bond or?
No, sir. No, sir. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing? I'll put you down for a preliminary hearing. You can speak with your attorney, okay?
Please.
Come on, Mr. Evans. Go on to the slide. The next is Johnny Fleming.
Okay. Mr. Fleming, you're charged with escape. Do you understand your charge, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Okay, you have no bond set at this time. You have special conditions that you must not violate laws while out on bond should you get a bond. Your preliminary hearing is on June 25th at 8 a.m. and 201, and you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, sir. Thank you.
Come on over here, Mr. Fleming. Next will be Hall.
Okay.
Is this Mr. Hall?
Mr. Hall, you're charged with simple battery, criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Okay, your bond is $9,000. You have special conditions to stay away from Junior Jacint. Can't return to 79 Flint River Road, apartment 16B in Riverdale. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. I've indicated on your bond order that you can make an appointment with the sheriff's office within 10 days of your release to go get any personal belongings that you have at that location. Your preliminary hearing is on June 25th at 8 a.m. and 2:01. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Judge George, Hendricks.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Next one's gonna be Michael Hendricks.
Okay, got it. Mr. Hendricks, you're charged with noise violation, obstruction of an officer, disorderly conduct, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
I understand, Your Honor.
Okay. Your bond is $12,500. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. You have a preliminary hearing scheduled for June 25th at 8 a.m. and 2:01. And you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Miss Eddie Javis. Or Javis.
Mr. Javis, you're charged with battery, family violence. Do you understand the charge, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
I understand.
Yes, we got
Okay. Your bond is $6,000. You have special conditions to stay away from Keangela Holder. You can't return to 5601 Richlow Court in Forest Park. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. I've indicated on your bond order that you can make an appointment with the sheriff's office within 10 days of your release to go get any personal belongings that you have there. You do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing? Would you like to speak with your attorney first, sir? Okay. You'll have a preliminary hearing scheduled for June the 22nd at 8:30 in courtroom 201. Thank you.
The next one is JOASSAINT.
Got it. Okay.
Judge George, I also have Mr. Albury when you're ready for him.
Okay, I can do him next.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Jossain, you're charged with simple battery and criminal damage to property in the second degree. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
I don't understand it.
It says you intentionally caused visible injuries to Ja'Cory Hall by swinging a chair and hitting him in the head. The physical altercation between said offender and Ja'Cory resulted in the property damage of the dining room table valued at $1,000. Your bond is $9,000. You have special conditions to stay away from Ja'Cory Hall. You must not violate any laws while out on bond.
I'm sorry.
Scheduled for 8 a.m. on June 25th and 2:01, and you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney. Thank you.
Right, come on. Come on back, Albury, go to the podium.
Pull your mask up.
Pull your mask down. Should have been left.
Mr. Jones?
No, that's Mr. Albury, ma'am.
Oh, Mr. Aubrey, I'm sorry. Mr. Aubrey, you're charged with DUI and open container violation. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
Understand, Your Honor.
Okay, your bond is $5,500. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. You do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Your Honor, can I ask a question? They had gave me,
Yes, sir.
it was they told me they quoted me 3,000 with 15.
Yeah, because the bond, I went up on the bond, sir. They said they put you down for $2,000, but that's not the scheduled bond amount. It should have been $5,000, so that's why your bond went up.
Okay, come on,
Thank you,
over,
Your
Mr. Albury.
You're welcome.
Come sit right here. Pull your mask down, stand by your chest. Take that pen out. Right here.
Mr. Jones?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Jones, you're charged with improper passing of an emergency vehicle, improper lane change, obstruction of an officer, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, use of possession of drug-related objects, and 2 counts of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. Any charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
Yes, ma'am, please.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Your bond is $20,500. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. You have a preliminary hearing scheduled for June 25th at 8 a.m. and 2:01. You do qualify for a court-appointed attorney. Thank you.
Judge George, the
Thank
next
you.
one, Lee Bond, it'll be Murray. The next one, Austin Murray.
Okay. Mr. Murray, you're charged with simple battery, family violence, obstruction of an officer, simple battery on a police officer, battery, and criminal trespass. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
No, how did trespassing when it's my house? I don't understand how it trespassing.
Put your hands down.
You want me to read the criminal trespass warrant to you?
Yeah, cause I was in my house, my mom's house.
Hey, hold on. It says you did intentionally, you damaged property, sir. It's damage to property, criminal trespass. So you damaged the property of Robin Rackley without the consent of the owner. The said accused threw an Alexa speaker box into the wall, causing damage to the wall.
Well, I just told my mom.
$38,000. You have special conditions to stay away from Robin Rackley. You must not violate any laws while out on bond.
My mom.
Preliminary hearing scheduled for June 25th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. And you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, sir. Thank you.
And I had a question too about like my disorder. Like they had taken me to the hospital and like give me medicine for my mental health or whatever.
Okay. All right. Talk to your attorney, sir.
Pen down. Put the pen down. Come on over here, Mr. Murray. Judge George, the next Milan bonded out. It will be Justin Mitchell.
Okay.
Judge George, did Mr. Murray say did he have the option to waive?
No, he didn't.
Okay, go ahead. 2 and 4. Very much.
Mr. Mitchell,
Yes, ma'am.
you're charged with aggravated assault. Do you understand your charge, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
She can hear you. Pull your mask down so she can hear you.
I understand.
You understand, sir? You have no bond set at this time. You have special conditions to stay away from Marco Cruz. You must not violate any laws. Should you get a bond, your preliminary hearing is on June 25th at 8 a.m. and 2:01. You do qualify for a court-appointed attorney. Thank you, sir.
Put the pen down. Put the pen down, Mr. Mitchell. Step on over. Judge George, the next two, Moreland and Navarrete, they bonded out.
Okay, so I have Navarrete.
Navarrete.
I'm sorry, I have them duplicated. That's Navarrete, this is Edwin Navarrete.
Okay. Mr. Navarrete, you're charged with battery, family violence, driving on a suspended license, as well as possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
Yes, ma'am, I understand, but
Okay, your bond is $8,000. You have special conditions to stay away from Nixie or Paulina Centillion, and you can't return to 289 Hummingbird Way in Riverdale. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. You do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you waive your preliminary hearing?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you had a question?
No, ma'am. Oh, yes, I got a question. Yes, the suspended license, I have an affidavit. I don't understand.
Okay, just talk to your attorney, sir. Okay, I appointed an attorney to represent you, so talk to your attorney about that. He can work through that for you.
And the family violence, I'm like, we're okay now. We're together again.
Okay, talk to your attorney, sir. I can't talk to you about the facts of the case, okay?
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So you say my next court date is when?
Put the pen down, come on.
You waive, so just sign a waiver, sir.
Come on over here, Mr. Navarrete. Next will be Newsome, ma'am.
Okay.
Hey, calm down.
Listen here, you didn't know what it meant.
Mr. Newsom, you're charged with child abandonment. Do you understand your charge, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
I understand the charge.
Okay, your bond is $1,500. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. You do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I am going to appoint one to represent you. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
I do, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
I do, Your Honor, yes.
You want to waive? Okay. Make sure you sign a waiver, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Newsome. Judge George,
Yes.
Mr. Navarrete changed his mind, he didn't want to waive.
Mr. Navarrete does not want to waive?
He did not want to waive.
Okay, well, his preliminary hearing is going to be on June the 22nd at 8:30 in courtroom 201.
Next will be
Mr. Powell?
Are you Mr. Powell?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Powell, you're charged with theft of lost or mislaid property. Do you understand your charge, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
I understand, sir.
Okay. You do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I am going to appoint one to represent you. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure you sign your waiver, sir. Thank you.
And do I have a bond?
Bond is $2,000.
Over here, put the face mask on. Judge George,
Yes.
can you give me the court date for Mr. Newsome? He said he wants a court date. He does not want to wait.
It's gonna be June the 22nd at 8:30 in courtroom 201.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Mr. Scott?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Scott, you're charged with battery, family violence in the second degree. So your charge has been upgraded to a felony and criminal damage to property in the second degree. Your bond is $14,000. You have special conditions to stay away from Kenya Grace. You can't return to 1205 Bentley Crossing. Violating laws while out on bond. I've indicated on your bond order that you can make an appointment with the sheriff's office within 10 days of your release to go get any personal belongings that you have there. You have a preliminary hearing scheduled for June 25th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. And you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, sir. Thank you.
Hey,
Mr. Strong?
yes, ma'am.
Mr. Strong, you're charged with theft by deception, identity fraud, conspiracy to commit a crime, and racketeering. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
Can you read the warrant to me, ma'am?
Says you did obtain property, to wit, funds in the amount of $243.67 by deceitful means. The accused presented a fraudulent check, number 22967, on or around August 26th of 2019, drawn on SunTrust business account belonging to the victim, with the intent of depriving the lawful owner of said property. The business being Dependable Metal Recovery, said property being worth $1,500 or less at $243.67. The accused was contacted for an interview with no results. Understand that, sir?
No, ma'am, I don't really.
Okay. Well, speak to your attorney. You have a preliminary hearing scheduled for June 25th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. File for a court-appointed attorney. And you don't have a bond at this time, sir, due to being on probation. Thank you.
I'm not on probation, man.
Okay, you're showing as being on probation, so just talk to your attorney.
So what's your last name?
Strong.
Okay. What's your name, sir?
Johnny Scott.
Mr. Scott, you're charged with simple battery.
No, this is Scotton, ma'am. This is
Scotton, Johnny Scotton?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mrs. Scotton, you're charged with simple battery. Do you understand your charge, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
Would you read the warrant to me, ma'am?
Yes, sir. It says that you did intentionally make physical contact of an insulting and provoking nature with Johnny Scotton Jr. The offender got into an argument with Johnny Scotton Jr. The offender approached Johnny Scotton Jr. and punched against Johnny Scotton Jr.'s chest with both of his hands. I'm sorry. The offender is Johnny Scotton Jr.'s father, and they currently live together. Your bond is set in the amount of $3,000. You have special conditions to stay away from Johnny Scotton Jr., and you must not violate any laws while out on bond. You do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
I don't understand what that means, man.
Okay, well, I'm gonna let you speak with your attorney, sir, and then you can always waive after you speak with your attorney. Your hearing is gonna be scheduled for June the 22nd at 8:30 in courtroom 201. Thank you.
That's all? Okay, okay, sir.
Are you Mrs. Smith, Isaac Smith?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir, you don't have any charges pending against you here in Clayton County. You've been brought before the court today because you have charges pending against you in another jurisdiction, and that jurisdiction is requesting your return. That jurisdiction being the state of New York. You, as you're wanted by another jurisdiction, I'm not allowing a bond at this time. You do have the option of waiving or contesting extradition. If you contest extradition, you'll sit in the Clayton County Jail for an initial period of 30 days while we obtain the governor's signature, but that time can go up to 90 days. If you waive extradition, New York will have up to 90 days to come and get you, but if they don't come and get you within 90 days, you will be released. Would you like to waive or contest extradition?
So if I waive it, they still got up to 90 days to come get me, you said, right?
They have up to 90 days to come and get you. That typically happens before then, but they have up to 90 days to come and get you. And if they don't come and get you within 90 days, you will be released.
Okay, so I'll waive it.
You want to waive? Okay, thank you.
All right, have a good day.
Just, Joseph Smith?
Ma'am.
Okay, Mrs. Smith, you're charged with possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Do you understand your charge, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
I can't hear what you say, man.
Do you understand your charge, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Okay, your bond is $1,500. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. You do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing is scheduled for 8:30 a.m. on June 22nd in courtroom 201.
Okay.
Thank you.
The next one should be Spear, I believe, Gary Spear.
Okay. Mr. Spear, you're charged with driving under the influence and hit and run. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
Read them. Read them to me.
It says, with the intent to drive a white 2014 Nissan Sentra on the roadway of Forest Parkway in the opposite direction of traffic, and as the offender attempted a U-turn in the other direction, he hit a 2003 BMW 325i silver in color, which was being driven by the victim, Francis Patton. After making contact, the offender drove off at a high rate of speed, failing to check for injuries or to provide his driver information or his vehicle information. The victim followed the offender and called the police. I then made contact with the offender and immediately smelled a strong odor of alcoholic beverage and noticed that the offender had slurred speech and bloodshot red eyes. Your bond is set in the amount of $8,000. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. You do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
No.
Okay, your preliminary hearing is scheduled for 8:30 on June the 22nd in courtroom 201.
Next will be Weldon, Brandon Weldon.
Okay. Mr. Wilden, you're charged with open container violation, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, and possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Do you understand your charges, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
Yeah, ma'am, I understand.
Okay. Your bond is $9,000. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. You have a preliminary hearing scheduled for June 25th at 8 a.m. in 201, and you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney. Thank you.
Okay, come on, Mr. Lee. One moment, Judge George, it should be Ivory Washington next.
Yes.
Okay. Sir, come on. What's your name, sir?
Washington bonded up. Washington bonded up.
Okay, Judge George, Ivory Washington bonded out.
Washington bonded out. Okay. All right. So I have Jacory Whipple next.
Yes, okay. Are you Whipple?
I was looking for.
The only thing we have now is Mr. Yeomans. Can you do Mr. Yeomans? We're trying to locate Mr. Whipple.
Okay, that's fine. Mr. Yeomans, you're charged with theft by shoplifting. Do you understand your charge, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you? Okay. Your bond is $2,000. You have special conditions to stay away from 5611 Riverdale Road in Atlanta. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. You qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
No, ma'am. Judge, John, is there any way I can get a bond reduction or 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 something? I mean, I understand it.
No, sir, not at this time. Talk to your attorney. And maybe he can work something out with the solicitor for you, okay?
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Mr. George, just stand by for Mr. Whipple, okay?
Oh, okay.
Put your stuff in and be quiet. He's the next supposed to go back. He can't go home. Like, you know, the first 10 things is the
Last one, Judge.
This is the last one.
You be getting through 'em.
I try.
Okay. Are they bringing them? Judge George, just stand by for Mr. Whipple, okay?
Okay.
Board it up.
Okay.
Last one, right?
Yes, the last one.
Okay.
Does anybody's water?
Yeah.
Somebody's water?
Mr. Whipple.
That's it.
Judge George, is Mr. Whipple gonna be eligible for waiver?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Hold on one second. I'll let you know when he's here.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Whipple? I can't hear you. Is the sound, I think you got the microphone muted at the jail. Okay, there we go. Mr. Whipple, you're charged with unlawful conduct during a 911 call. Do you understand your charge, or would you like for me to read the warrant to you?
I understand, ma'am.
Okay, your bond is $5,000. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. You do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
When would that be?
You'll see a judge if you waive within 10 to 14 days. If you want to have a hearing, it's going to be on June 22nd at 8:30 in courtroom 201.
So, how long, what's the, amount of time for, something like that?
I'm not sure, so you have to speak with your attorney. I'm gonna go ahead and put you down so you can speak with your attorney before you make a decision. So that date is on June 22nd at 8:30 in courtroom 201. Thank you.
How long, from now is that?
It's June 22nd is your court date, sir.
What's the date?
Today is the 21st of May.
Good, Judge.
Yes, that's it. Thank you all so very much. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Myers.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're